Hello everyone, happy National Celluma Light Therapy Day. I have been working with Celluma Light Therapy for a long time for my treatments, for my pop-ups internationally, and I am so excited to be introducing to you the President and the Vice President of Celluma Light Therapy. It's a brand which is very close to my heart, and it's a brand which makes a huge difference to the treatments that I carry out at all of my international pop-ups. So I really can't wait to tell you a little bit more about how I use this beautiful panel in my treatments and exactly what it does to all of the treatments that I offer. So if you have any questions, please do ask away. If you have any questions in regards to what light therapy actually does, what the benefits are, feel free to ask, because light therapy is just so phenomenal. It's really taken off, especially when it comes to home care devices as well. The devices that we use in treatments are just so different to the ones that you use at home. Not to say that the home devices aren't useful, it's just that a panel like Celluma, for example, is just so much stronger and gives such amazing results as opposed to what you use at home. Light therapy, which is basically using LEDs, light emitting diodes, uses a panel of diodes which have different wavelengths of lights: red, blue, green. Each wavelength actually targets different skin conditions. So red is amazing for rejuvenation, blue is fantastic to neutralize any bacterial activity on the skin. You also have the infrared light, which some panels have and others don't. Celluma has the infrared option. And what it basically does is it creates this wound healing response within the skin. LEDs are not new. They've been around for a long time. And it's something that you can use in and it really creates a huge difference when it comes to at-home therapy.
Hi, Adeela.
Hi, Patrick.
So, I'm here.
Nice to have you here, Patrick.
I apologize for.
So happy National Celluma Light Therapy Day.
Thank you very much. Happy National Celluma Light Therapy Day to you. I apologize. Technical difficulties on our end, but greetings from extraordinarily sunny Dublin, Ireland.
So what brings you to Dublin?
Celluma, it always does. It takes us around the world. The product's available in 98 countries around the world, and it keeps us on the road. And we're heading to London tomorrow for an event out at Hedser House in Buckinghamshire.
Amazing. And the reason why it takes you worldwide, because that's the reason why I started working with you as well, is simply because, well, first of all, it's a device which is proven, tested, FDA approved, and it really works. And practitioners like myself, professionals around the world really trust it, don't they? What makes it so different from other light therapy devices that you can buy on the market right now?
You know, you and I met about 3 years ago, and I know you have a long history of using light therapy in your practice and are a big believer in it. But those old first generation devices were very big, very expensive, not accessible to the consumer for home use. So we really designed a device that was, you know, equally efficacious, equally safe, but in a much smaller package and at a much lower cost. So, you know, we think of the Celluma as, you know, second generation light therapy.
I see. And so the people who use the Celluma at home, as opposed to in a practice like situation, what is it that they need to do differently? Do they need to perhaps do something beforehand to prep their skin? Because it's a question that I'm asked a lot.
I think what the clinical science teaches us is light therapies is used best on clean, dry skin. and that any product you're going to put on your face, you want to put on following the light therapy treatment, because we don't want to have anything interfere with the penetration of the light energy. And we also want to vitalize the tissue ahead of the application of topicals so that they're more bioavailable to the tissue itself.
I see. And another question that I have for you is to do with the actual lights. Now, when I show this to my clients, everyone mentions that it has far too many lights compared to the ones that you normally see in the at-home devices. Why is it that there are so many LED lights, and does it just make it stronger just because it has more light bulbs, or is there more of a complicated scientific reason
there is a lot of very complicated biochemistry behind low-level light therapy. But we know that there is a finite range of energy delivery that's effective in upregulating cellular activity, which is kind of what we're up to. And so we use the right amount of LEDs and the right amount of power to deliver that dose of light energy so that we're activating as much tissue and as many cells as possible during the treatment.
I see. Well, look, I have used this panel everywhere, as you know, at my residencies, globally. It's been to the Maldives with me, to LA for the Oscars, to New York for the Met Gala. And I just find that it just gives me that red carpet glow that everyone's talking about. And there's no downtime. And isn't that just amazing? You can regenerate and create cell renewal without really compromising the layer of the skin, without really hurting the barrier of the skin. You don't have to penetrate it with any acids, or you don't have to burn it. You literally lie under the light, which is almost lovely. We've actually created a name for it. We call it the LED nap. So whenever someone lies under it, they go and take a little LED nap, and it's actually quite relaxing.
There's even a biochemical reason for that. We know that light therapy triggers serotonin production in the brain, which is the happy hormone. And so very likely it's going to put you to sleep. But, you know, the great thing about light therapy, as you point out, is that it's non-invasive. We're just reminding the body how it already knows how to heal itself, but is forgotten because of some environmental insult, whether that's illness or disease or injury or bad behavioral habits, or just the normal aging process. As our bodies age, at the cellular level, the body forgets how to heal itself, and we're really using the light therapy to remind it how to do that.
And that's one of the great things about light therapy, especially with the Celluma. I find whenever I've done treatments across the world, one of the top questions I'm asked all the time is, what's the best anti-aging product or device? Or, you know, and there isn't really such a holy grail one single product, but I think light therapy, especially Celluma, comes very, very close, because it just ticks so many boxes at the same time, whether it's pigmentation or fine lines or wrinkles or the first signs of aging, inflammation. There are so many, psoriasis, even rosacea can be really helped with regular light therapy. And so to those who are listening, I just say, honestly, light therapy is something which is phenomenal. And if you can invest in something a lot more stronger than your regular at-home devices, then I would suggest
fundamentally, light therapy is knocking down inflammation, which is at the root of most things that ail us. And it's increasing microcirculation, so we're delivering more oxygen and nutrients to tissue so it can heal faster. So if you were to ask me what's the best anti-aging device, it's a healthy body. And with light therapy, we're reminding the body how it's capable of healing itself.
That's right. I think healing is at the heart of all of this, really, because when people think to treat their lines and wrinkles, it's almost like a firefight response, isn't it? It's they see a problem and they just want to really just somehow extinguish it like a fire. But it's not so simple like that, because it's such a it's a cascade response. It's a slower response, and actually slowly and steady wins the race. So instead of going for, say, Botox or fillers and, you know, try to fill those lines and wrinkles, which is a temporary measure, I like the permanence and a long-term approach of Celluma and light therapy compared to, say, other non-invasive experiences or treatments that other people.
Yeah, I mean, one way to think about it is light therapy heals from the inside out, you know, as opposed to, you know, working on the surface of the skin.
As opposed to injecting, or that's right, or applying something that may or may not really work well with your skin. So of course, yes, and that's the reason why. Thank you so much for the past few years, really, for supporting me and helping me understand this beautiful world of Celluma and light therapy and the wonders it can bring.
It's our pleasure. We know that you're well respected and that you do great work, and we're just happy to be a part of that.
I'd love to ask our audience some question. If you have any questions regarding LEDs, if you haven't used it before or you've been thinking of maybe trying out different things, I think it's a good time to ask questions, because Patrick, being literally, you know, the fountain of knowledge when it comes to all things LEDs, it's actually so helpful. So let me see. Would you recommend using light therapy as part of your routine? How often? So how often then would you recommend?
Yeah, I mean,
it should be used?
Typically our recommendation is 3 times a week or every other day, with a 30-minute dose of light energy from the Celluma. It will upregulate cellular activity for up to 48 hours. So if we're giving the body a little boost every other day, it's optimal.
Okay, the questions are coming thick and fast. Let's just go back and see. What does the red light therapy do for your skin?
You know, red light is sort of medium penetrating, and it's penetrating down into the level of the tissue where all the fibroblast cells live. And I'm assuming that the question is with regard to anti-aging. And so our fibroblast cells are responsible for producing collagen and elastin, the most important protein in connective tissue as well as skin health. And so again, when we all reach the age of about 40, our fibroblast cells stop forgetting how to do their job, and we use the light energy to trigger that process and start producing collagen and elastin, and with that we get a diminishing of fine lines and wrinkles in the skin.
Right. And I suppose there was a question of, can it be used daily? I think daily use is a little bit of an overkill. It's not really necessary.
I mean, the way to think about it is, you know, when you plug your cell phone in at night, it fully charges in the first 2 hours, and then it just sits there and it doesn't do anything until you deplete some of that energy. The body is the same way. With a 30-minute treatment, you're going to be able to give up to 2 days worth of cellular benefit, and then you need to recharge. And so, you know, I would recommend daily use only in the case of an acute musculoskeletal injury where you've got a lot of tissue involved and where you potentially could benefit from more treatment, and you're probably not going anywhere anyway.
I see. And I'd like to tell everyone who's watching this, Celluma Pro is not just an anti-aging or a panel which works for, say, acne-prone skin. It has one more unique function, which is for aches and pains. So you can actually wrap it around your knees or elbows or in areas of pain. How does that really work? It's
really a function of vasodilation. That you know, when we get inflammation, which is the body's natural protection mechanism against further injury, we have a lack of turnover of fluids in the vasculature system. And so with light therapy, again, it's complex biochemistry, but we're able to stimulate the microvasculature, so we're moving fluids to and away from an injured area, which then reduces inflammation and reduces the experience of the pain related to the trauma.
And the great thing about this is that Celluma actually bends so beautifully into a C shape, S shape. So if you have any aches and pains, it can actually be wrapped around the knees, around the arms, and it snugs, fits so snugly around the face as well. So, and that's an amazing thing because it comes so close to the face. We can treat chest with it. We can actually just, you know, wrap it around the chest. And that's one of the great things I initially loved about this panel, really, that it just does so much for the skin. And in terms of regeneration, I think it's unparalleled, really. So thank you so much. Honestly, we have so many questions, and I think we'll be answering them later because they're all very good questions. But happy Celluma Light Therapy Day. It's been amazing. How many years? 20 years?
No, not that many, but it feels like 20 years with my travel schedule. But thank you, Adeela. We really appreciate you kicking off the day with us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And honestly, it's a pleasure to work with you. And yeah, thank you again for coming here and illuminating us all. With your
my
LED
pleasure.
knowledge.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye, everyone.